I think I'm ready to go. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What a good time to be alive. Yeah. For my night owls who come to class late night here at the U, Coffee and Kush TV starting tomorrow. Urban Conservative, of course, starts tomorrow. I'm gonna merge the two. What up with it, Taj? Ain't it a beautiful thing? Ain't it truly a beautiful time to be alive when you can actually say, wow, they're using royal blood to defend themselves against the American government. Now, could you believe that? Now, what are the odds, Elijah? Hey, no, not late night, Todd. No, that's Coffee and Kush TV. The people who support that is for Coffee and Kush, late night with the roll. That's something else, champ. That's something else, bro. This is just my conversation before class in the morning. That's it, bro. You know how people got clips and they put out 10 and 15-minute clips? And I do live streams, and that's what I'm good at, bro. I don't know how to do this other stuff, bro. I just know how to get on and talk to you. So if it's 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes. This an hour. Then there's a motherfucking hour. This internet shit got me fucking frustrated, bro. You feel me? Because it always relate back what I already knew any damn way 2, 3 damn years ago. I seen this whole thing falling, and I knew the YouTube streets was where it's at, right? That's why I created it, right? And so I'm telling you, as I'm here mentally drained and coming up and trying to formulate my podcast ideas and just I said, you know what? You know what did I do a show on? Fuck it, I'll prep my class and get ready for tomorrow. How's that? How's that? So another beautiful day in paradise. But yeah, I just wanted to have that conversation and go over a couple things for the people who do tune in tonight, because that's what I care about. This is what I care about the information. I do care about being compensated, of course, for my information, but more than anything, I really just like to display this. I like to see this come into fruition. I didn't know I was this right. Press one. I didn't know I was this right once again. So a lot of things is just on courtesy. Most things. And I do these YouTube videos, and those who want to support me on Patreon fund it funds my whole energetic mode for even displaying what I know or what we can figure out as a unit. So I really appreciate those who contribute and helps this program and the programs that come under this YouTube page. I greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all, Amanda, all of my moderators, all the people who've subscribed, who've been here for a long time in the back hitting, and to know that they are using royal blood to defend themselves from the United States taking over and having control over what? Their sovereignty as what? As a theme park? No. As a sovereign power, just like I said. Violation. And I thought y'all fought the British. Press one. Now they using British. Hold up. They using the Magna Carta. Press one. They're using Bill of Rights. Press one. They're using the Constitution. They're using anything that they could. Listen to me. And we thought we was just guessing, didn't we? I know. No, we're not just guessing. Mm-mm. We thought seriously, nigga, Kev got to be wrong a little bit. And if I said I'm right a little bit, if I'm right just a teeny weeny short, man, press one. If I'm just a little right, then I'm right all the way. What's my motto? If I find a clue that makes me right, here it comes. Now, I don't know other what to say other than shit. It looks like Cav's right. Royal blood. This trumps This Trump's being an Indian, an African. This Trump's being a what you witness when they do stuff like that is using your sovereign power and your freeman stance on life, nigga. Press one. Your whole heritage to stay right here, to stay put. No, you can't have control. They putting it in their paperwork that you can't. That's a resubmission of law. They're overstepping their legislative. That's how you should be thinking about it, right? If you're an American. Wait a minute, Disney don't have no authority to say no to legislation. Well, they do if you knew what I knew about royal blood. Disney did not have to say, I'm a Democrat. I'm finna vote for the Democrat. He didn't have to say, I'm finna vote for Republic. That doesn't concern Disney, Mickey Mouse. You know what concerns Mickey Mouse? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which one it is. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. We are royal blood. That's what Disney's saying. Doesn't concern me. At one all, you giving me paperwork for what? Okay, so here, you can't do that without this, without me being in control. What that mean? Sent it back. It's just supposed to be eye opening to us that wow, they're using patriarch power, power of the king, real power, Disney to rig. I mean to stop legislatives from DeSantos and them from appointing any power there. They pick their own power. See, and if you think you a slave and you think you an Indian, this doesn't apply to you. I'm not talking to you. I've realized I'm not for everybody. Fuck it. I ain't talking to you. You an Indian, you a this one, that, and I'm hurting your feelings. Fine. It ain't even about Kev no more. It's just about this is right. So what I say, the Nazis won World War One, two. They took over by way of international corporations, Disney. Press one. Who's about to lay off everybody any damn way? But I want to tell you why everything is happening like this. And they've been keeping you mentally confused in this world, dictating to you what everything you like, love, all that. They created that. They created every aspect of what you think you like. Press one. Got you all caught up in the dream world that I call legally retarded. Press one. Yeah, you in Wonderland. Press one. That goes back to law. Wonderland. Disney. That's what I meant by that. Press one. You're in Wonderland. You're in Wonderland because you don't know that your government is a puppet government. So you now you know your government is a puppet government. Your government has you in a state where you believe in the illusion, non capos mentis. Okay, it's not that I don't like that you the Indian. I just been messing with y'all, bro. Bro, I love Dan Calloway, bro. He taught us something, bro. I love these people, bro. But I gotta come at them because I'm like shaking them to wake them up. Because these are the leaders who got the people. That's Tyreek Nasheed. I love these people, bro. Press one. I watched them just like everybody else did, bro. But they don't know. You think they knew this shit? Hell no, bro. Hell no. Hell no, they didn't know this, bro. So they got us in the state of not to this complex, not like this, you know, not like this. So because we believe in puppets in Sesame Street and Elmo's world, huh? We kind of like in our own little mental asylum of entertainment. As long as they give us our daily dose of entertainment, and got our leaders singing rap music and looking shining up real good. Taking deals after deals after deals. People really not knowing about God and how this nation really works and Jubilee. No, because you believe in Satan's kingdom, Mickey Mouse, who runs its monarch right here on this land. If this wasn't here, they wouldn't be here. They only exist. Now listen to me. They only exist because you are. This is your government, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. Non compos mentis. That means you're not legally responsible because of insanity. Why? Because you let Mickey Mouse and its legislative branches, international corporations, press one, overthrow your government, sovereignty, common law. So instead of getting mad at what I'm saying, kind of pay attention. Shout out to you, Trapped In Podcast. So yeah, the Rat King, Mr. Success Builder. Good to see you out there paying attention. The Rat King. The rats are the multinational corporations all over the place, but they all go back to one big huge fucking rat. Huh? And as long as you stay fucking sleep and stuck and lost in time immemorial and not knowing what happened to you and how you ended up DEAD or stillborn, aka shit, fucking black. Press one. In law, what means you need help. It's to the equivalent of a person who can't read or write and drooling at the mouth and can't present themselves in court and can't speak being wheeled in on a fucking medical stretcher to court to say, I give y'all full authority to rule over me because I don't speak well. So this guy here, my public defender, he from the Bar Association, because you're barred from superior court, superior law, because you're incompetent, again, because you retarded. This is how multinational corporations took over your shit. Because we bungalow 54, dancing around to their rap music, because we retarded. We like children, minorities, minors. That's why. So they have to rule over you and be trustees over you, because your black men who's supposed to be head of household, here we go, supposed to be head of household, what are they doing? Bobbing their head to the beat, begging for communism and socialism. This is communism and socialism. Puppet governments, international corporations stealing everything from the people by way of entertainment. This is Shazam, nigga. This is bizarre. This is Cesar. Press one. This is the great amusement rat king, Dumbo ass shit, where all the adults want to be children and tell their kids mouses are alive and these bumper cars is more important than law. That's hell. I just want you to know. That type of government where you can go check in and take your real money and trade it in for Disney bucks, press one, that doesn't exist. And they give you Chinese processed hamburger, press one. Ooh, you getting robbed everywhere because you believe, now you think Mickey Mouse Pampers take care of children. That's how much. You think Mickey Mouse Pampers take care of children's urinating themselves more than the regular one. Press one. That's how retarded we is. Get the Disney one. My daughter like the Minnie Mouse right there. They're gonna watch Baby Shark on the way home. We're all fucked up. And so when a person comes and give law and is charged up with knowledge and history regarding law, it can't be played with. You we are legally insane. Who would God send to talk to? Israel has to be dead, legally insane, and letting puppet governments rule over them. Could you read that in prophecy? Okay. Okay. Now imagine being in scripture and not even saying scripture, and God gave you a prophecy way back then that Israel, these people, press one, will be ruled over. Press one, and giving you signs like stand here. What is that red puppet over there? Oh, 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 your people gonna be raised by Elmo. That's how this shit is. But it doesn't mean Elmo. It really means multinational corporations. This is how they steal their land. So because you are entertained by the people who stole it, you will never know. These are the people who tell DeSantos what to do. Mickey Mouse, just like I told you, Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is saying, "Hell no, I'm the king." Resubmit this. Tell them we not giving up shit. Matter of fact, if they want to come over here, we appointing whatever, the same old, same old. So that's what we've been teaching here for the last 1-2 years. Energy high right now. We've been teaching that for 1-2 years. People thought I was playing. People thinking that I'm playing. That King George and you and nobody, me and her, we don't have anything to do with this. This whole thing of why, hell, you know why California? Shout out to Amanda. Shout out to Amanda. You know why California? She told me this. You know why California get first at reparations? I told you that's urban conservative. You know why? Oh, because that's where Disney is. Press one. They robbing right there. That's where it all started. Press one. That's right there. Disney. Land grabs. Death. Only. So while we sitting up here being entertained day in, day out by Disney controlled YouTubers and all that, keep in mind what we've been studying at Cairo University this whole time, the ideological subversion. How does Mickey Mouse have your crown? I did videos on this over and over and over again, trying to get people last year to wake up to this fact. And now law is here. So when we say tomorrow news today, I'm serious about that. This is not just yesterday and me doing this and this being a part of my life. This is going on tomorrow and the next day and last week. But this is just what it is. You know, you got to know how you was defeated. You got to know how Mickey Mouse, aka the Rat King, rules over you. You got to know who the Rat King funds in your local police departments. You got to know what entertainment branch they come from. You got to know who the hell is Walt Disney. Where did he come from? Who are these people? I'm telling you, the whole thing of the Mickey Mouse Club, all of this stuff, you need to go back to, all you got to do is type in World War One and Disney. Media. Disney produced all World War One and World War Two footage. So Disney is the ones who told you what happened in World War Two. The whole Truman Show. Disney. Listen to me. The whole Truman Show. Why niggas worried about relationships and pearly things and this one and that one. The whole thing, bro. Disney. Disney gave you everything you see by way of propaganda as far as their identity, where they came from, all that. Disney brings up Mortimer. That's Mickey Mouse. So Mickey Mouse knows you dead. Mickey Mouse know they traded places with you. Disney knows this. That's who does Pixar and Toy Story and Lion King. They know the Bible. They know exactly what they did. We've been living in their entertainment hell viewpoints of Scripture. Press one. Well said. We've been living their allegorical perception of law. Why? So multinational corporation can use royal bloodline to trade places with you. Now you black. Refugee. Press one. You see? See how it works? So as long as you keep watching Disney cartoons and Disney this and you've been fed the propaganda of Disney, a lot of this shit they making fun of you. Right there. Right there in your face. They brought you Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was here with Walt Disney shooting video in America. Press one. Red Cross had death camps right here. That's why Minnie Mouse was dressed as a Red Cross nurse disguised as the Manifest Destiny spirit conquering the United States while a tornado is behind her like the Wizard of Oz because Kansas is like the heartland. Press one and a big tornado and flood fucked you up. You went to sleep and you ain't woke up since. They changed time on your ass when you woke up like this. And when you ever seen the movies where people wake up like we gonna have a conspiracy night at this bitch. You ever wake up and your whole world was changed? What the fuck do we live? Press one. Yours is even worse because you've been walking alive in white supremacy Nazi. And because you've been programmed to enjoy it, they didn't just beat you over the head for you to enjoy it. You started enjoying it. You started enjoying the psychotrauma. And now you put your kids in front of it. And guess who gets your history? Guess who teaches your kids all this? Disney. That's why Disney fights for trans television to be in front of your kids' face. That's why. It's this. 1,000 years added overnight. There you go, Marley. They put when you woke up like this, Kev waking you up in 2002. What was it? 1776. So 2776. Right now, we wake up. What's going on, nigga? It's 1776, right? It's 1,000 years later. Devil's time. Devil's time. Satan's kingdom. Press one. Remember the Merovingian? Remember the M representing 1,000 years was God? Remember? That's what they was all fighting for. That's what this shit was. This shit is about time. That's when time is up. All that means something. Because it's all commercial. And once you realize what time is, shit, time won't even be in a man's mind. He'd probably be eating healthy, live a long time, probably. If that burden of time wasn't on his mind. You see what I'm saying? Because the Grim Reaper is the father of time, and that's death. And the last sin to be defeated is death or time. That's where you're dealing with everlasting life. Press one. Let me stop right there. There's bars, dude. I should be a rapper. Press one. There's no bars. You never heard that before. I just hey Taj, hey Elijah, I just fucked they brain up right there to look at that one. I fucked your brain up with that one. Bars. You ain't never heard that one. I'm getting a little Moorish on them. Press one. The motherfucker just start calculating this shit like it's nothing, right? It's time, G. You dealing with the kingdom of Satan and commercial law and puppet government or God's ruling law. George Washington is what? Right? He's the father of this nation. Do they follow George Washington? Hell no. But they sure use the royal bloodline to keep their ass right here as a last ditch effort to say, wait a minute. Look, we're using royal. Who using royal? You ain't said nothing this whole time about royal executive. Where royal? Well, Mickey Mouse. got the deeds. Nigga, that mean he's the. You got to understand that. So who's Mickey Mouse? The Pope. This ain't nothing but the business of the Pope, business affairs of the Pope. This is the multinational corporation and would blind you. That's why it's happening the way that it's happening. I told you, America is under Serapis law. You mean law of the sea, maritime, in better words. The incorporated. This is America. America is Mickey Mouse, but American and Mickey Mouse is also a Nazi, Germans. You get it? Masters of propaganda, Operation Paperclip. That's why you been asleep ever since. Wake up, son. You been in the Truman Show, enjoying life every day, getting clout. And we all suffer from this, man. We need to do more. We need to do more. They got us moving even faster now. Even I get frustrated at times, like, damn, bro, there's got to be more I can do, bro. It's just more, bro. But I'm gonna get it on the wall. You already done it. I gotta remind myself something. Wait a minute. Wait. It's already now. Just rest a little bit. Chill out. So yeah, you've been in Disney World this whole time, and Disney World holds a greater sovereignty than the average American citizen. Why? Because they're using royal status, royal blood. Press one. So these multinational companies, they know this. They know when I say time is up, this is what I mean by time. When Tupac says the end of time is like commercial law and get back into the law of the land and spiritual law like that, because that's going back to Levitical and God's law. Ghetto's got it. Like, I wonder if heaven's got a ghetto and stuff like that. Is remembering the old kingdom and saving yourself a spot so when you can get it, not the kingdom of so-called illusion hell. This I know is dressed up real cute. This motherfucker pink. I know, ladies. I know Tinkerbell finna fly out that motherfucker and go bling. I know. They fucked y'all up. Press one. They fucked us up too. Trust me. They fucked us up too. Everybody want to be stars, and everybody want to be, because everybody got to go through Disney to be a star. So it's nothing but if Satan is the Lord of Disney, well, he is certainly above the stars. His kingdom is above the stars. You get it? All the stars want to be in the kingdom. His kingdom is above the stars. Right. So that's going into old Egyptian, Phoenician belief in stars, but at the same time, human stars as well. So every human who wants to be a star goes through the MK mind control or demonic satanic process of Disney. And y'all wondering because you having confliction. Disney can't possibly be part of it. What the fuck you think happened to Britney Spears and all that? All of this is by way of being used by international corporations and billionaires who is illegally going to these parties and Weinstein and Epstein type of shit. You see, well, who do you think these billionaires are? Why you think Melanie King says she worked for Disney and she knows the billionaires? Perhaps one is she can alter her voice like a little ass girl talking to a billionaire who made a bad mistake. That's why. You can play ignorant if you want to. You can play ignorant to what you're saying in this world if you want to. You know? So when we come to class tomorrow, just know this is where Cavro University is. Now, Coffee and Kush TV, I'm gonna put the link out there tomorrow. I'm gonna schedule my show for our late shows here at 5 p.m. Eastern time, so to give California and the East Coast fair time to talk reckless on the internet, clout chase, and all that good shit. But right here at Cairo University, we just teaching about the ideological subversion. That Melanie King shit, that's cool, that's fun, but that's still dealing with this right here. This is the ultimate component. This is it right here. When you're talking reparations, this is because of the destruction that these multinational corporation and policy enforcers, aka the police within the communities of those owned by who? Multinational corporations, once again, who are affiliated and umbrella by right here. Look no further. So if the federal government was to say this is illegal and this right here, and we giving sovereignty back to the ones who it is, they'll be giving it back to the Victorians, which is you, and this will be old Michael Jackson house. Press one and like, look, that was a great kingdom one day that ruled over us with fake mouses and ducks. And teacups that dance around and that has more status than us, and we go to see them. Now, if you go to Disney World, if you ever been and you believe that Mickey Mouse, and it's okay, then what you gave you rather give your authority to a mouse in a puppet government rather than a king and nobility and righteous men of God, then you got a problem. If you believe you's the Indian and they are the kings and that Mickey Mouse is royalty and not the Victorians and the people like yourself and your forefathers, they call the Victorians, yeah, that. You got a problem. You in Wonderland. Press one. You in Wonderland. And what you don't know. You know that saying, what you don't know don't hurt? That's, man, when you know, nigga, the truth hurt. You ever heard that before? What you know don't hurt, but the truth hurt. This goes back to what my thing over here. Huh? Lloyd's of London insurance market. Look at the nigga broke. Who is that? Disney. This is what I'm saying. Where's Lloyd's of London? Lime Street. Follow the yellow brick road. Press one. Lime Street. They about stealing resources and keeping them in drugs. That's what the poppy fields is for. Press one. And the Wizard of Oz. So they present a nice little beautiful couple, want to be kings and queens, but the real kings and queens have been robbed by way of multinational insurance fucking companies and companies, and they put insurance on you and stocks and bonds and created this whole stock market and gave you a birth certificate and stole your heritage so they can walk around disguised as you for a little bit, like scriptures say. That's why. Now, what the hell is royal powers doing in America? It's question number one. Question number one. And how is a puppet government, a puppet theme park, using that to challenge legislation? Real legislation. Only in Wonderland could that happen. Only in Alice in Wonderland could that happen. How is what you thought was the leading authority here walking around clueless and acting like there's an issue with a theme park ran by fucking a dead Walt Disney? Press one. And a mouse that's not real. And they're using whose sovereignty and whose royal bloodline to do what? And you telling me you asking for reparations as a real boy, Pinocchio. You a real human being. And Mickey Mouse has more sovereignty and can do more than your black leader. You know why? Because your black leaders are just that. Black. Dead in law. Don't you get it? They are legally insane. Not able to think clearly. Press one. That's what it is. So they are legally insane. So they think if they say, I'm a foundationally black person, they gonna come alive like Pinocchio. Press one. Well, if you foundationally black, you eternally dead. Press one, and you back into Satan's kingdom, because that's where they want you. Eternally dead. I want you eternally life. Press one. Maybe that's why I'm on fire tonight, because this supposed to happen. I want you to eternally live. Press one. They trying to give you eternally death, eternal damnation. Kev over here trying to point you to God and law. This is right, like Chris Tucker say. This is so right. Remember Chris Tucker had all them diamonds, and that girl say, this is wrong. No, baby, this is right. This is so right. Please believe me right now, because if you don't, I don't give a damn. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air. What up?
I believe you. I believe you.
Talk to me.
I tell you, I do believe we hit ourselves a shipping war brought on by pirates from the Bolshevik Revolution.
Now wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Now slow down, Deb. You my new co-host. You feel me? My now hold up. My producer said just Kev, get your ass out there and they gonna come. Your co-host gonna come and here come Deb. So Deb, the Pirates of the Caribbean did what now? Go ahead.
The pirates of the Bolshevik Revolution
Oh my
came
goodness.
in.
Talk
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
they came in, and I have seen little balloons and parachutes landing during the taking of the land in Florida for Disney. Got pictures of the little balloons landing when they could not find the owners because the owners lived somewhere in Missouri. So they went ahead and took the land and created Pixie Land, I believe is the name of it, when they actually create a park. They
What
create an
kind of land? You
orphanage.
said Pixie land?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's
And
that
they
pixie
did it
dust
in
Tinkerbell throw.
Washington.
That's that pixie dust. This
Mm-hmm,
is all subliminal
mm-hmm,
trickery. Go ahead.
mm-hmm. Yep, they did it in Washington State in a few places. They did it in Oregon in a few places. And they did it in California and in
That's because
Florida
that's all
around where.
Washingtons. That's why they had to do it everywhere. The king's real property, Oregon. They took that, Florida, Washington. But if they took Oregon, they took the real Washington, which is Washington State, which George
Yes,
Gillespie,
sir.
yeah, which was founded again by the Gillespies again. Go ahead.
By Mr. George Washington Gillespie.
That's why
Yes,
I
sir.
love Deb. Go
Your
ahead, Deb.
lineage, your lineage, sir. I see your inheritance. They're being dismantled, and they're going to fold all that crap up and take it away.
That's right.
Just like they do when they move little pixie lands.
That's right.
They take them and they move them around other places so people don't notice that there's just been atrocities happening.
That's right.
Other people are brainwashed in the camps. They get like, you either do this or you die. You work or you die, and you get sorted. Every camp has a sorting bin.
Go ahead.
And they sort people. And they sort them now on the borders. Right now, they sort them by colors on the borders. They breed them, they train them, they bring them in, they breed them, they get them pregnant before they bring them in. It's all just a plan.
It's all
that's been
human.
here
It's
for
all
many, many years.
drop their kids off in America and make them native to America. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and get double bennies when you come back and find them and pick them up. And
Oh
if you
yeah,
don't
you
pick
get
up
double.
yours,
You
then
get
you're a
double up. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. This is just a little research that I've done on it. Being kind of like they tried to get me to marry people and things like that, you know.
So the
And
Bolsheviks.
that's not a god.
So that's a real tactic they use to get them to marry into families, but in specific individuals that will put them in positions of power and keep them in power. So they know who
I
everybody
believe
is.
so.
Of course, they know
I believe so.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a
And
so
it
it's a
has a lot to
traveling
do with
circus
that
that
the
overthrow
invasion.
that over
Yes,
it's a
yes,
traveling circus that
yes.
overthrows sovereign lands. Go ahead.
Romanovs are used as the power structure because Romanovs are already able to tribe up quickly, move quickly, camp quickly, and will pass as natives. Romanovs
See?
are the ones that are used as the force. They do the same blending, well, they put it in the camps. You get better treatment if you breed. They have a brothel right in the middle of every camp. Over in all of them, in the Holocaust of the people they are saying are the original Israelites
Come
in
on
that
now.
other country over there. But for us here, it happened for years and years and years and years and years, decades and decades and decades and decades. We're talking 122 years. It's stopping. No more forced labor for God's people. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I see,
agree.
I see what you're teaching. I see what you're teaching. And I only know that through Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit am I able to see it and speak it and retain it and keep my life clean enough to be acceptable in God's eyes, to be a sufficient sacrifice for his word. But this has to stop.
Well, I tell you like this: the sacrifice has been made.
Yes,
That
sir. Yes, sir.
vessel have been cleansed, and he told you already in John 16. So that
Yes,
which
sir.
is written is written.
Yes, sir.
There is no one clean enough but the Son of Man. And he was the
Correct.
sacrifice. And he is to send the spirit of truth. That's how this plays
Right
out.
there.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate the call. Thank you,
Right
Queen.
there.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate the call. But that's it. And the spirit of truth over and reproves the world of sin, which is death. Mm, mm, mm. God is good all the time. God is good all the time. Don't worry, Deb. You don't got to sacrifice your body. Sacrifice. You just sit right there. You just sit right there, Deb, and keep research and keep talking about the Romanovs and keep verifying everything Kev already said. 50 years, Jubilee. Press 1. Every 50 years, they got to think of a conniving way to steal it, and keep you fighting Ukraine and keep you in a perilous state. Keep your money flowing somewhere else, but to you, keep your status flowing to some other nation but yours, creating puppet governments to pull off foreign. Most of these senators and stuff are paid by foreign governments by way of lobbyist groups. And we know this, man. So why is it taking y'all so long that this is a legal issue? We're not being represented in America at all as a 14th Amendment because we're dead. So this is a Supreme Court matter. That Walt Disney and these multinational corporations have transgressed on my liberty, which is against the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Magna Carta, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. This is treason all over again. So am I celebrating all of these things that the world is celebrating? No. I got my eye on the prize, which is Disney. Disney is the prize. When I see them folded up and crumpled up, like one of them little traveling circus, Barnum and Bailey, that's all Disney is, Barnum and Bailey. And they got the entertainment companies. Remember I told you guys about the companies who playing Monopoly on the backs of those brothers. Remember that? I put the picture up not too long ago. They're playing the Monopoly trick on you. They're on your back by way of the circus. You get it? The circus is on your back. And the circus steals your land. They're the ones, different nations playing Monopoly, international games on your back. Let's go back to it. And you have to get them off your back. Turtle. This right here. Remember? Once you stand up, the game is over. You stand up by addressing it legally. This is a legal matter. It's a legal matter. So once you stop letting these false people who work to keep you down, hunched over with a burden on your back, and these people who pledge North Africans to a dead corporation, which is placed on your back, which is used as what? See that entertainment? Look, Barnum and Bailey. The more. Who is this? Manifest Destiny. It's always in the spirit of taking over your shit. Press one and do theater. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated where? At the theater. Watching fucking the play. Watching theater. It seems like theater is how they got a lot of our leaders. Right there. At the theater. Being entertained. Boom. Boom, right there.
About how we're all.
We gotta do better at communicating the message, but this is the message. International multi corporations by way of Walt Disney have infringed. You know, she was talking about the Romanovs. How many times have we brought up the Romanovs? You dealing with the Latter-day Saints. You dealing with all these people. Oh, you know what? You know who you dealing with? The society, the American society. This is what it's about. Now, I could play a movie, but I'm going to wait until tomorrow morning. That's going to deal with how they did this once again. But from puppet governments to lobby groups, this is how it's done. Now that over there is the sideshow. In real life, them arguing over the real ruler who tells legislation what to do and to stop it right there is Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. Multinational corporation using what? Royal. Let me get that report once again, just to be clear. They're using royalty. That's not supposed to be used on our land, remember? But what if it is? That means the royals are here. That's what. That means the bloodlines are here. That means you never defeated the British. The British monarch and patriarch was hijacked by the Romanovs. And you were exiled, put into bondage. And they've been dressed up as you ever since. But not specifically you, but your leadership and those of you who would be in that role. And you would have it'd be the reverse actually of what you see pretty much today. You'll have first and contracts, first and this, first and this. Why? Because this is your land. This is where you belong. You and your sympathy is just like, we are the world. We are the world don't love you the way these laws love you and George Washington and the founding fathers and God loves you. The world don't love you. They pay senators to change God's law into religious, Muslim, and Hindu, and this one and that one, when it's quite clear it's Levitical law out of Scripture, not anything else. So changing God's laws, rearranging time, That's all by way of the Rat King. We proving to y'all who is changing time on us. Who is changing God's laws, okay, by way of amending them, okay? That's why I kept telling y'all, that why they had to change the Bill of Rights. If you just stick with the regular, you wouldn't have to do nothing else. We're free, but you got to amend the law to enslave them. So yeah, you free there, but in the 13th to 14th Amendment, you're sorry. Press one. So they are manipulating and changing God's law, and you have to wake up to that by getting back into the Word of God or law. And remember the contract or the covenant between who? That if you do what? Follow the law, keep the law, and keep the commandment. Remember, you will be blessed. He'll restore you, and that's what it is. It's not a dream. You in the damn Mickey Mouse dream, thinking the whole United States is waiting for a puppet government to say, "Hey, y'all, today we sent a rocket to the moon. Oh yeah, and today this rapper did this. Oh yeah, and today it's like it's all Disney. It's all Truman Show shit. All these little minuscule debates and little squabbles of argument, it means nothing because they're not legal. If you just like this, if you assumed in law as a man and got into just talking a little bit about law, you won't be. Most of these little problems niggas be having won't even be there because most of them is because it's just nothing to talk about. Bored, girl. You know, I'm not arguing religion with them. You feel me, 10-toe? I'm not arguing religion with you or nothing. There is no debate. This is history. Fantasy, yeah, all that fantasy shit. This is history, champ. And if you caught in the world like that, you just under the power of the mind control. When they say the Matrix, the mind control of Walt Disney, where the queen can be the king, and she rules, and the Pope is this a religious person on the other side of the world, and yeah, the queen. That's it. The queen. And you already know she was a Nazi. So the queen is a Nazi. The queen of the world is a Nazi. Mickey Mouse is using the over here, but the queen, Mickey Mouse is using press one. Warren Buffett is using press button. But Mickey Mouse is using the kingdom for the king here. And the queen is way over there at the Lloyds of London doing what she doing. She just passed away, but I'm saying. And she was a Nazi. So if she was a Nazi, and the Nazis stole the kingdom, the Nazis are the ones who they said were the Nazis, but really are just the Romanovs. They stole the kingdom. The Russians, the Germans, all them. Who y'all think the Orthodox Jews and all that? They took your names. They took everything from you, and then they make fun of you every day. And then they make fun of you every day. They put blackface on. They re-altered your history, reinserted themselves in your land. Said France gave you the Statue of Liberty as a gift. In what war? In what war? Because they was conquered by the Nazis. What war they gave? See, and then you know all the immigrants who came over here came right through that motherfucker. Liberty got you, and since they've been here, you've been enslaved and under so many different laws to keep you down. Where do you start? Where do you start? So, when we talking land and royal status and stuff, nobody's bringing in that Disney stole it. Disney hold more royal status than Turtle Island. They're not saying we're from Turtle Island, the oldest establishment. They're not saying that. They're not saying we're Aboriginal. Press one. That we're Aboriginal. We're using Aboriginal land, Native American rules, or in effect, they're not saying that. They're not saying, oh, we Pan American, Pan African rules are in full effect. No, they're not saying that one. They are saying, nigga, by birthright, nigga. That's what Mickey Mouse is saying. And you're saying you was an Indian. That's what you're saying. I'm an Indian. I'm an African. All corporations. Listen to what I'm saying. All of them are corporations. Hit that like button. All of them. All of them are corporations. That's why I keep telling y'all. They had the perfect takeover plot. Is it going to make sense to you? They're going to beat you by a corporation. And you're going to be living under white supremacist policies rather than law. You get it? UCC. Universal Commercial Code. That's why Disney got cruise lines, a.k.a. their immigration. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Sugar Mama.
Here it go. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You're on the air. Talk
Hello?
that shit.
Hey, Kev,
What
it's
up?
Amanda. So, we've been talking about California, reparations, Disney. I just wanted to point out something that, so California, it's a report that it may be the first to recognize, I don't know if people understand what it is, a caste system.
Yeah.
So apparently, the United States does not recognize a caste system, but what it is hold on, sorry, my computer. It's basically, and this is for crew to do research for.
Okay.
It's basically, um, it's about birth. Hold on. Sorry, crew, hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the caste system is a social hierarchy passed down through families. And they're trying to say that California is going to be the first state to ban it. So I'm not 100% sure if they're going to ban it as far as the quote unquote Native American system, or does this tie into the reparation, the 800, you get what I'm saying?
Of course, they can be trying
So it's
both,
just,
but I think if you're looking at the cash system, that's an old East Indian the company way of doing business. India runs off that cash system as well, and that's what I used to say. It was like, damn, go ahead.
Okay, but you say it's India, but would that have something to do with like the East Indian Company as far as like the way it was ran? Like you understand what
Of
I'm
course,
saying?
the
Why the
caste
same
system.
way
Do you know the different? Do you know what the caste system is? You
I'm learning it's it's basically more so like a kingdom, whereas like it kind of your family name overrides the social or the system.
so it's hereditary status.
Correct. Correct.
Go ahead.
So what I'm trying to say is I get you're trying to correlate it to like Indian,
But
but
it's a
if you can
stolen
go back,
legacy. So what you're saying is,
correct.
oh, I get what you're
So
saying. You're saying, is
if
this a way for them to
California,
double back and try to protect themselves
correct.
from the king gaining right to his land by
Well,
hereditary
that's my
rule?
question.
I got you.
That's my
I
question.
got you.
Is it more so because California is talking about reparations, talking about this Disney stuff? Is it more so the band of um what was there or what they're trying to block?
Well, if you can send me that report, that'd be cool. But yeah, I would see it as, I mean, if I seen it, I would probably see it as that, as maybe an
Okay.
attempt to try to block. Remember, we was talking
What's
about an absolute fee, a
okay.
fee absolute. Remember, we were talking about that, and that they were worried about all power being centralized, so they couldn't name an heir. But now Disney is
Okay.
trying to use heir power to remain. So it's kind of like,
Right.
fuck, man. It's like that. Well, we kind of that has to happen. So, like I said, it's
But
it's
why
it's
would
in the
Disney
air
be using air power here?
because, like I said, because this is air.
Correct.
This is British. This is the British government.
Okay.
This is British
I'm
monarch.
I'm throwing it out there because it came up.
Remember,
So
we
we
was
were
talking
on the
about
whole
New England.
conversation.
No,
Correct.
that's right.
Yes, it's here. So I just wanted to point that out. Shout out the crew. Thank you.
Shout out to you. Thank you for the call. I love that. I
Bye.
love that. Yeah, I love that. So they using it. They didn't overthrow it. They just stepped in your place. Now they need it, but also don't want to give it. They need it to stay, but they don't want to name an heir, a real individual that really has it, because they stole it way back then in the 1900s, when this shit was in the 1930s and 40s, when they don't want to tell the American people the truth about Disney and American precedents. You got it? That hurts, man. That fucking hurts, bro. But the weight of the burden that's placed on the world due to that catastrophic event is at play. So it's getting to a point where the information is faster than they can even fucking go against. You understand? You can't even fight it. It's almost as if the information and God Himself is making them submit it naturally. It's almost like, you need that? Well, okay, let's see what happens tomorrow. Well, now DeSantos is Disney has hit them with this and put in their own paperwork and hidden the shit. But at the same time, they need to name an heir. And while people is asleep, they don't understand. You about to get reparations, but they like, damn, we don't want to play racial games and damn, I need that report. I want to see that report she was talking about, because that'd be lit. You know. So a lot of these was the monarchs a caste system? Let me know. Let me know. Was the patriarchs and the monarchs the original ones back before them? Was that one of those? Most likely. But nothing is going to play out. Everything is just about the process. It's all about the process. The end result is already set in stone. The process of seeing it unveil itself, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. These folks don't even know that they're in Disney World. They're locked inside of a cold trick. They're locked inside of a cold trick. What you thought scripture meant was, surely our fathers have inherited lies. What you think that's about? What you think that's about? That's about them waking up, realizing, not Tataria, fool. Press one. No. It goes no further than that. This is what all they got. Their history is set already. There is no plausible deniability and all this just deny, when all of the evidence is pointing towards the truth. They literally robbed God and his people. Exactly. But guess what? God and the Lords at the time, they all put it's a hidden story in the will. So that's what the law of redemption is about. It's about the will being translated appropriately, so the beneficiaries of the law, once they remember the covenant, that's what the valley of the dry bone is. That's what raising of the dead is all about. Press one. I always said this. I always said this. This ain't new. It's just taking a while to click, because we don't see ourselves, and nor can we see ourselves, even though we can literally see ourselves as that. We don't really know how to articulate. Wait, all this shit was fake? Yup. It's all put forth by Disney and this false sense of whatever. I'm not here to make people like feel good because they believe in this shit. We believed in this stuff too. Okay, so pay attention. Hit that like button. And if you want to contribute to this page, get in that Cash App. My cash tag is, you know the story. Press one. You know the story. Now watch this. Now hold up. I know you can't hear. Don't even do it. Don't even do it to me. I know you can't hear. I know you can't hear.
These immortal words, when first they were written, proclaimed to the world an idea new among men. They expressed a shining wish for a better way of life. This was the American dream. But that golden goal was not to be had without cost.
What did I say? The American dream world. Press one. The American dream world. Press one. Non-compos mentis. Wonderland. That's it. Because the Constitution is just a small part of the contract. That's for what these corporations bet not do and trample on your right. And they don't even honor the contract.
It was born in adversity, tested by time, perfected and proven only after long experience and trial. This is the drama of a new concept of freedom, of the inspired code of law creating that freedom. was the year 1787. In the city of Philadelphia, the Constitutional Convention was in session. After 4 long months of debate and discussion, a new constitution to replace the old and ineffectual Articles of Confederation had finally been written. It was the
So the Constitution replaced the Articles of Confederation. Press 1.
mutual effort of the best minds in the land, men long experienced in the human art of government. By unanimous consent, George Washington had been chosen president of the convention.
Gentlemen, the warmest friends this Constitution has do not contend that it is free from imperfections. But there is a constitutional door open for change. I think the people can decide on the alterations and amendments which time may prove necessary. Besides, they will have the advantage of experience on their side.
General Washington, sir.
Mr. Franklin.
Fellow delegates, having lived long, I have experienced many instances of being obliged to change opinions which I once thought right. The older I grow, the more apt I am to doubt my own judgment. I cannot help expressing a wish that every member of this convention who may still have objections to it would, with me, doubt a little of his own infallibility, and to make manifest our unanimity, put his name to this instrument.
This was the moment of decision.
New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York.
When the ceremony was over, 39 delegates had come forward to write their names. Only 3 withheld their signatures. Thus, on September 17th, 1787, a new constitution to govern the American colonies was signed at Independence Hall. This newly created government was unique. In a world of kings and emperors, would it actually work? The first test was not long in coming.
In the land of what? Hold up. Hold up. In the land, hold up.
Newly created government was unique. In a world of kings and emperors, would it actually work?
Press 1. In the land of what? In the land, that ain't what they see. Now you can hear. Now you can hear. In the land, what they say? Huh? Would this shit work in the land of kings and shit? Now let me stop again. In the land of kings and emperors and shit, would this actually work? Let me say that again. In the land of kings and emperors, it's a lot. It's more than one. Would this actually work? Again, they may be talking usurp, coke, coup, little banking coup, whatever that they talking. In the land of kings and emperors, would this shit actually work?
The first test was not long in coming. It occurred in George Washington's second term as president, an incident known as the Whiskey Rebellion. In colonial times, corn was an abundant crop but difficult to transport.
The Whiskey Rebellion.
And for convenience was often converted into distilled spirits. Since this important byproduct was shipped from state to state, the federal government saw fit to levy a tax upon it. But
so the federal government started levying a tax upon what? Come on. So they, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Go ahead.
the people objected in principle. And
The people objected to federal government. I told you, invade an army.
before long, their opposition had flared up in riots. Here was the first challenge to the federal authority.
Told you. Because the federal authority is saying, wait, the people. And the people are saying, wait, one motherfucking minute. We the people. You ain't got no goddamn authority. I mean, challenge the federal government. That's because today's time you think George Washington was a white man. But George Washington is the so-called plantation owner who gave who gave the slaves his royal descent, their freedom and every damn thing. So they don't know how to get their story straight. Was he a slave owner or was he a businessman and had a lot of indentured workers? And when he passed, he gave his indentured workers his sovereignty. Do you understand? So when Pearl be making these suggestions that, oh, they loved they slave master, and she playing semantics. Press 1, and you getting emotionally riled up, which drives Pearly algorithm with all of your hate. Press 1, this is how they're using your hate against you. Don't let them use you against you. Press 1. No, don't let them use you against you. You've been letting them use you against you this whole time. George Washington is King George. He's king and he's president. Don't you get it? As president, he's president of the bank. He's president of all that shit, overseer of that. In his real status, he's the king. King, you've got to remember. Remember, Pearl said this. England gave you freedom. What the fuck you think New England is? What do you think patriot? It ain't the matriarchs. It's the patriarchs. It's the patriots, not the matriots. It's McDonald's, not Whack-Donald's, but it's not it's the patriots. They got you thinking the patriots fought the king. No, that's the matrix. The patriots is Mel Gibson. Remember, we fight for the freedom. Not them. We getting caught up in the bullshit, that's all, and it's all trickery. And it's what they spend billions of dollars for you to be tricked up and shit.
The question remains whether the president has any legal right to use force. As to the legality of it, Governor Mifflin, I have here an opinion from Justice Wilson advising that the courts of your state are unable to deal with the crisis through ordinary judicial proceedings. Under the law, this would empower me to use the federal militia.
Fortunately, the rebellion ended without bloodshed. The mere size of the militia overawed all further opposition. Washington had shown his people that the government was prepared to ensure domestic tranquility when necessary. Some 40-odd years later, President Andrew Jackson would know the threat of secession.
The federal government's tariff acts are hereby declared null, void, and no law in the state of South Carolina. Should force be used to execute the measures declared void, such efforts will be regarded as inconsistent with the longer continuance of South Carolina in the Union.
Uh-oh.
Tell them from me that they can talk and write resolutions and print threats to their heart's content. But if one drop of blood be shed there in defiance of the laws of the United States, I will hang the first man of them I can get my hands on to the first tree I can find.
Press 1. Press 1. Let me stop. For your Messiah was hung on a what? On a tree. This is all symbolic, bro. It's for the decapitation of the Negroes, removing their names and everything. So when you got all them black people like this with the picture, I'm trying to tell you, they took George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, all of these names and used this shit against you. Took their last names off, made a corporate, and made a false history of all this shit. But I'm going to tell you what, the fact that they can say they're going to hang the first one they see on the tree, that means you stand accursed. That's not United States law. Remember, unless you a black man at the time, and the federal government was deputizing all these foreigners to do what? To overthrow all of the different pockets of black who was against what? The revolution. Y'all call them Confederate. Press one. Y'all think the South was against all this shit because they owned all that shit. So they was against that shit. That's why Pearl tried to use it against you, because you think the South is full of rednecks. They wasn't even nowhere. They didn't have this. They were deputized. The Carolinas was overthrown. The Carolinas is like, ain't that Charlotte? The Queen Cities and all of these things. This is all royal. This is all Victorian. Not Geechee, not slave. They are invaders. Press one. That's how we trying to teach y'all, bro. And it's important. They are the invaders at that point in time. At that point in time. And they're using these little white faces to trick you, because actually they're coming in the name of the Lord. Not just Lord, but many lords. They're using Andrew Jackson's name. They're using George Washington's name. They're saying George Washington created the federal government. This is after the overthrow. This is after. No, George Washington, this is the federal government, blah, 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 blah. But if you read the preamble of the Constitution, it'll tell you what the federal government bet not do, especially by way of religious right or international corporation. Press one, we're talking Charlotte, South Carolina, Wilmington. We're talking all of that. There's a lot of history down here, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, it's in the air, nigga. I'm from South Central, where that ain't in the air. Ain't nothing but fucking palm trees, lowriders, and niggas. But nigga, let me tell you. So this is how they used the names. They used royalty to create the federal government. AKA, let me tell you what I really mean. Okay, let's break this down. They use royalty to create the federal government. You got it? You got it? They use the puppet government to trick you, and now you in Elmo's world. So let me get back to this, man. This is dope. This is dope. And shout out to the people who contribute tonight on this page. I'm going to be giving y'all a shout out tonight as well as the morning. You know me. You know, I love the support, and I love those who love this type of information and really honor the time well spent, because, again, I'm getting my production down, and want to make sure that people who's dedicated to this truth is in this conversation. So each one just has to make themselves available for me so we can get this information out there correctly and appropriately, the right way.
With the people behind him and Congress supporting him, Jackson stood by the Constitution. For the moment, the crisis passed, but it would come again. By 1858, the cause of sectionalism had grown stronger and much more bitter. The burning issues of the day were brought into national focus by a series of debates between the glib and talented Stephen A. Douglas and a...
Now look, I don't know about the look. ABE, the giant killer. Now, the little giant, the giant killer. ABE, the giant killer. What the hell is that?
Bitter. The burning issues of the day were brought into national focus by a series of debates between the glib and talented Stephen A. Douglas and a self-taught lawyer named Abraham Lincoln.
That's honest Abe Lincoln! Give it up good, Abe!
And so we got this. Abe Lincoln is the giant killer. Okay, I got it.
Judge Douglas says he doesn't care whether slavery is voted up or voted down.
Neither do we, Lincoln. You know nothing.
Press one. Father Abraham had many sons. Ain't just the father of their nation? Press one. And many sons had Father Abraham. Right here. This is the father of the federal government. Hold on. Y'all don't hear me, though. I'm going to let this sink in for a minute. Look, Charleston town. That's right. You see why they using Charleston white? Because Charleston is black. It's a king. It's Kingsland. Press one. So they really making a statement on social media because we making an effect. Y'all just don't see. They've been on guard like Floyd Mayweather this whole fight. Press one. Everything we do over here, we made them adjust. That's fire, G. I'm just keeping it 100, which you may not even see. Y'all just swinging swords and helping out and got your battle ready and we fooling around. But I'm telling you right now, when I look out and I look at the virtual enemies, press one, and their thresholds, bro, they been in defense ever since they stuck their little heads out with firing their little black buttons and missiles, and we took it, and that's all you got. Now they can't even come outside and play. You feel me? They can't even troll appropriately. They trembling. They trolls like us now. Press one, you believe this?
Well, friend, I may not know much, but I think I know right from wrong. Now, you say that...
So, Father Abraham, 13th, 14th Amendments, I'm trying to tell you, he didn't free the slaves, he freed the slaves. Now, listen to me, let that sink in. They just overthrew the royal. He didn't free the slave, he freed the indentured workers, bro. Hold up, we gonna get to that. This is insane.
You don't care whether slavery is voted up or down. Any man can say that who does not see anything wrong in slavery. But no man can logically say it who does see wrong in it. Because no man can logically say he doesn't care whether wrong is voted up or down.
I told you. That's why they had him going up or down, like as above, as below. They tried to say that was but they don't. Bro, this is deep shit, bro.
I say this government cannot endure permanently half slave and half free. A house divided against itself cannot stand.
That's what you think, you long...
You don't understand, Royal Purple. Yes. The father of the faithful. Not, this isn't like, this is real. Okay? The father of the faithful. Okay? You got to remember when when they said they was freeing the indentured worker, the slave, he was shot in the back of the head, remember? Whole country set in crisis after that. You got to remember, kings and emperors, you looking at them like they presidents. These are very important people at the time. And they're not like white people, like this computer is saying, like these pictures are saying. But we got to listen to the story.
Drink of water.
Yes, my friend. That's what I think. That is the real issue. That is the issue that will continue in this country when these poor tongues of Judge Douglas and myself shall be silent.
Now, wait a minute. Now, I'm going to give you a clue to this whole thing. When he was shot in the back of his head, he didn't die. He was laid up in the bed or something. They didn't have him dead for a while. I'm telling you, when they say, I will make you father of many nations, Abraham Lincoln is the father of all nations right here. What was Abraham? I'm trying to tell you, bro. He was the father of all these workers becoming free. I'm trying to tell you. You know what free mean, right? Free mean paid a wage, bro. Not slaves, bro. A chance of emancipation. And all of that stuff. We looking at it like he talking to like freemen. No. We're not talking to freemen. He talking to indentured workers. Because that's what they were enforcing. Freedom. These are the same people who gave you the colony. These are the same people. The insurrectionists are the ones who fighting against them in their commercial like titles. Presidents, legislators, senate, you can debate the king or some emperors. Back in the day, you couldn't debate them. So the fact that you can even debate this shit is like, whoa, you know? It was dealing, but once they gave up the commercial shit and he gave royal descent, remember, the king gave the people royal, common law. And everything after that is just the deceit of the federal government coming in and trying to overthrow what George Washington said.
As I say, I have known Mr. Lincoln for 25 years. He is a fine lawyer, possesses high ability, and there is no objection to him, except the monstrous revolutionary doctrines which he conscientiously entertains and is determined to carry out if he gets the power.
Don't worry, he ain't gonna get it. Never. I'll never
And
let
again,
that help.
this is all the union. This ain't got nothing to do with the people that are nothing. This is all the union.
Bullet rail splitter.
All right, and I tell you that this doctrine of Lincoln's, declaring that men are made equal by the Declaration of Independence and by divine providence, is a monstrous heresy.
My countrymen, if you have been taught doctrines conflicting with those great landmarks of the Declaration of Independence, if you have listened to suggestions which would take away its grandeur, if you are inclined to believe that all men are not created equal in those inalienable rights enumerated by our Chart of Liberty.
Up. We're going back to unalienable right and going back to the charter and all of that. That's going back to the founding father. That's going back to George Washington, the initial charter.
Let me entreat you to come back. Think nothing of me. Take no thought of the political fate of any man whatsoever. But come back to the truths that are in the Declaration of Independence. You may do anything with me you choose.
Look.
If you will but heed these sacred principles, you may not only defeat me for the Senate, but you may take me out and put me to death. Do not destroy that immortal emblem of humanity.
Look, it's immortal.
If that declaration is not the truth, let us get the statute book in which we find it and tear it out. Who is so bold to do it?
No one.
I won't.
Not I.
If it is not true, let us tear it out.
No. No. Never.
Let us stick to it then. Let us stand firmly by it.
Abraham Lincoln lost that election of 1858, but in losing, he won. For the people couldn't forget this plain-spoken man from the prairie. And 2 years later, they said...
No, Rico, you got to understand. The federal government was allowed to use some right. So they're establishing their right within the federal government. So some of the workers at the union disagree with Lincoln. They're just voting. Because the real South and the real royals and the real people ain't even they have no affair in this shit that ain't even built up yet. They got you thinking Washington D.C. is the colonies, like the royal blood, like all of that shit. They didn't. This wasn't even built up like this. But all of this is by way of contract. You got to remember, this is all contract, and they're just establishing themselves just like in North Africa. These are steamboats. Look, these are steamboats. These ain't rowboats. This ain't none of that shit, bro. These are steamboats. Man, the niggas was everywhere, bro. And so it's just crazy, bro. It's crazy. So yeah, I know what you're saying, but they're right. They're being like, if you listen to that lady who was talking about like adopting them and allowing them, it's not yours, but you can use it. Like, where's my broom that I let you use? Well, it's like, here, you can use this liberty, but you're not a freeman. You're not a sovereign. You get me? You're not naturally born here. So they're just electing their presidents and trying to establish themselves right here, just like everybody else. They just put this as like Indians and Columbus way back in time immemorial, when it really happened just like right here. So you're right, but put in context, they're talking to each other. They are actually the corporate into they are the is that fiction? The legal fiction? They're operating in the legal fiction. Go ahead.
White House.
It's member
Without
banking.
union, the Constitution is only a piece of paper. I know there is a God, and that he hates injustice and slavery.
Look.
I see the storm coming. I know his hand is in it.
Look.
If he has a place and work for me, and I think he has, I believe I'm ready. I am nothing.
Unknown caller.
Truth is everything. And with God's help, I shall not fail.
Look. Cannon fire. Look. Now, what we looking at? Cannons and shit? We talking canon law, but look at this.
April 12th, 1861, Fort Sumter. The cannon spoke for war, civil war, bitter, violent, and devastating.
That's the storm. Civil war. Shout out to you, Deb Krupp. They playing George Street with the Washington Man over the Mickey Mouse. Yeah, there you go, Riccio. There you go. They playing George the Third with white George Washington mask. There you go. Well said. So they're really covering. Mickey Mouse is in blackface. That's King George. Is a black rat with a white in blackface. Is a Coffee and Kush TV. You on the air? What up? Wait. Hello. What's your name? Where you calling from? Go ahead. Oh, I didn't get a chance to hear him. So, America is fighting for slavery. Press 1. America is fighting for slavery. That flag is fighting for slavery. Civil War, they're fighting for slavery. Them right there. See? You see how to see it? They're fighting for slavery. You see it? Abraham Lincoln was like, what the hell is y'all doing? They're fighting and voting for slavery. Why they praising Abraham Lincoln, nigga, they sure was against commercial law. They went against the law and the contract. I ain't even gonna lie to you. They fought for slavery. They fought big time. Hey, hell no. So they started insurrections all over the damn place.
After 4 weary and wounding years, the conflict ended. The Union was saved.
Told you it's the Union. You on the air? What up?
Because they got people that create a conspiracy out of everything.
You got to blow your nose before you call in, sir.
The Constitution had survived the fiery ordeal. America was one nation, finally and forevermore. In the century to follow, America would know a period of amazing achievement. A time of startling inventions, a time of unbounded creative energy. There seemed no limit.
And it sure was a lot of creative energy after war. Press 1. Boy, after they overthrew, man, they sure had a lot of inventions. You see? Boy, they said, what's this? What they had here? Oh, this mine. But who wrote this? Well, it looked like I'm Mr. Jagger then. Press 1. This is after the insurrection. Press 1. Do you think they talking about Tulsa at this time? Hell no. They just made that up. He ain't finna mention Tulsa not one time. Press 1. When they discovered light bulbs is when they stole the light bulb.
To man's far-reaching horizons.
Like a bunch of kids who ain't never had nothing. Press 1.
It was a time of transition, a time of progress. But the fundamental philosophy of freedom, the belief in the rights of the individual and the dignity of man, remained unaltered. The Constitution was still the rock. Under its guarantees, men were free to speak, free to worship as they pleased, free to enjoy the fruits of their labor, and free to explore new dimensions of their universe.
10, 9, 8, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, there's fire. 3, 2,
Look to the stars, say the wise men. There lies the future. In remote and distant worlds lies the riddle of tomorrow. But where is its answer? If a free world is to endure, then the principles of self-government must be perpetuated. The Constitution is the rock. And the leaders of tomorrow must be as dedicated to its preservation as were the leaders of yesterday.
See? This is how you get it confused. They been going after Peter, the Rock, the whole time. The Rock is the contract. Now look, this is what gave the Pope powers to ignore it. Where's the rest of the contract? You got the Bill of Rights, the Magna Carta. All of that is associated with this right here. Even in the preamble, it tells the Pope and what the Rock they bet not do. But being that they don't honor the rock, they don't honor the Jubilee, they don't honor the contract, they don't honor the Constitution, they don't honor the Bill of Rights, they don't honor the Magna Carta, they disrespect the king, they respect the land. That's why you're in this position where banks rule over you. Yes, the rock of the whole thing. You just forgot there's more to we the people. It ain't just one piece of paper. Okay?
As are the leaders of today.
And look at them. They stuck in space. And look what's on the TV. Disney. Press 1. Disney. Say it again. Disney. Space. Look. You ain't been the same since you went to bed. Space. You've been in the metaverse and the goddamn aliens all this time and forgot about your place and your stance in law. Because you know why? Space. You've been in TV and aliens is coming. Every time you about to remember who you is, an alien invasion is about to hit the earth. Press 1. The alien, Mo Telsa, Mo flying fucking spaceships out of space with cars attached to them. Like it's just so that easy now. Press 1. Oh, they went straight to the metaphysical instead of staying in law. They went straight off into admiralty law. They went straight to the air. They believe that they mermaids, they under the water. But no law they acknowledge on land where they walking around. Malcolm X said, why would I give two shits about the damn aliens? He didn't. I'm saying this verbatim. Why did I give two shits about the goddamn space and aliens when I could need to know law right here? I'm catching hell right here walking around in the damn earth. Press 1. You know? They don't say we the union. It say we the people. Press 1. It don't say we the union. We the corporation. We the Catholic Church. We the this one. It don't say, yeah, you get to trample on. We the people want to get trampled on by international corporations. It does not say that. And international corporations cannot use we the people as them because they're not real. You're not a person. You're a corporation. That means courts. That means dead. That means black. That means sin. Press 1. That means fiction. That's not real. Press 1. That's commercial time. That's commercial law. That's death, nigga. Press 1. See how this works? See, I'm going to go off in the morning. I know I am. It's early. It's early. That's all. We got a few more minutes left.
In this Hall of Presidents, let us pay homage to the immortal men whose illustrious names have been indelibly inscribed on history's roll of honor.
Immortals. Press 1.
George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams.
Now you know that all people got 3 names. Press 1. All of us. That's how you know this ain't real. There's not one person named George Washington with one damn name. 2 names. Press 1. We got 3 names. His name is George Washington Gillespie. He founded Washington and Oregon, Washington State. He started the banking here. This is great. We all got 3 names. So there's Thomas Jefferson, and then he has a last name as well, which will be his nobility title. Yes, there's George Washington, and then what? Not in his nobility? What is it? It's King George Washington what? You understand what I'm saying, right, black folk? It's not just, oh, you know you got 3 names. So you have to identify who these people are, how they were robbed, who did it, who, what, where, when, and why. And that's why we doing it. I didn't know this would all come back around like this. I was just doing it because I was in the world looking to escape in my mind and get this off. And YouTube is a great outlet. But now this is Cavro University. Press 1.
Andrew Jackson.
Look, Andrew Jackson. And so just like said, you got to know who these people was in their real tight nobility. And they're buried in real life. They're not buried in their corporate name and corporate status and commercial false sense of self. No. For you think they'll be white people, white Frenchmen who came over here and established law. No, they are real. No, this white Frenchman, the Flying Dutchman, didn't get here until the banking system overthrew us and rewrote our history and made it look like what? This is all provable. Made it look like what? Like George Washington and them did it. When we already know J.P. Morgan was a master a signature thief. Press 1, his ass know how to sign every damn thing, and taught his son, who you called Joseph Stalin, J.P. Morgan Jr., who you also called Theodore Roosevelt, piece of shit. Press 1.
Martin Van
So
Buren.
when Grover Cleveland gave it over to J.P. Morgan Jr., all of America's gold, they didn't do nothing but transfer to Freeman's gold and put it in international banking and steal it. It made it look like Hitler ran off with the gold and he died and we don't know where it's at. Press 1. There it is.
William Henry Harrison. John Tyler. James K. Polk. Zachary Taylor. Millard Fillmore. Franklin Pierce. James
Puppet government. Look at this shit. And they're moving.
Buchanan. Abraham Lincoln. Andrew Johnson. Ulysses S. Grant. Rutherford B. Hayes. James A. Garfield. Chester A. Arthur. Grover Cleveland. Benjamin Harrison. William McKinley. Theodore Roosevelt.
Now, they're the immortal ones. Look at this shit.
William Howard Taft.
Now, check this out. When you get the birth record and the DNA from these individuals, you're going to find out they're all Bolsheviks. All of these individuals. They're all playing different roles, different characters, different bankers who just assumed position in our nation and put themselves in this shit. That's why you're owed reparations. Because they stole your whole nation from you and used the Rockefeller educational funding programs to write your history. They were doing human farms at the world fairs, and now you think you from Africa. They literally put people in African like fucking museum events, live museums, and said, look, took pictures and said, look, 1998, Kev Gills is in school getting a picture from 1903 of a nigga from Africa, but it was really the world fairs, now that I know. You know, that type of shit. What? They used this to tell me I was from Africa in them books. No, that was world fairs. They was human zoos, like a human museum, live museums. And since that's illegal now, we use like statues, but we used to use like Asians for Pacific, and it helped create an alternate history for you. Damn, cuz this the Matrix. Press 1. This the Matrix for real. The movie The Matrix. This is for real. So I'm getting a call. Here, let me see if it's worth my time. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air. What up?
America trying to wake up.
I can't hear you.
America trying to wake up.
I can't hear
America
you, Chip.
trying to wake you up.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your help, champ. We hear you loud and clear. So, yeah. Hit that like button. Subscribe. I hope a lot of y'all is tuned in to the show. I hope y'all enjoying it. You know, I got another show, another video to show you, but I'm gonna wait till the morning because it's more up to date and it's more of a face-to-face type of thing. So listen to the last few minutes of this, and we're out of here.
Woodrow Wilson, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, Richard M. Nixon. From these men, the free world may take new inspiration and hope.
Yeah, look at this. This don't even look like real individual. Look at this shit.
And if it be wise, new wisdom from old words of prophecy.
Look. Look. They have puppets stand up on your ass. And that puppet will sign Abraham
This
Lincoln.
government must be preserved in spite of the acts of any man or set of men. Nowhere in the world is presented a government of so much liberty and equality.
Puppets.
To the humblest and poorest among us are held the highest privileges and positions.
This how they got you. This ain't real.
What constitutes the bulwark of our liberty and independence?
It wasn't never real, nigga.
It is not the frowning battle.
ain't never gonna be
bristling
real.
sea coast, our army and navy. These are not our reliance against
Disney
tyranny.
gave you this.
Our reliance is in the love of liberty, which God has planted in us.
Now check this out. Liberty ain't even mentioned. Damn some liberty. Freeman. Freedom. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But freedom. If the police pull you over, where you going? I'm in the pursuit of happiness right now. Press button. Where you thought I was going? See, that's legal jargon. Where you going? In the pursuit of happiness. Are you stopping me, sir, from being in pursuit of happiness? My happiness is right ahead of me right now. And guess what you're doing? What's that, young man? You're stopping me from being in pursuit of it. They turn pictures into men. Thank you, Amanda. They turn puppets into men. Manifest destiny. Talk that shit. Officer, y'all have prevented me, the federal government and the puppet government have prevented me from happiness. What's happiness? What God promised me through air, through common law. I'm an heir of freedom, bro. I'm in the pursuit where it looks like I'm going. I'm in the pursuit of, where you going? In the pursuit of happiness. You see? When you in the pursuit of happiness, that's legal drug. That's a legal stance. And you be looking over shit. Like they just wrote that just to say shit like that. You know how you beat them? This is how easy it is. When you get together, you make sure that what? That they do not tread on your right of what? Life. You cannot kill me. Liberty. And the pursuit of what? Happiness. Where's happiness? Right ahead of me. I put my best foot forward. Happiness is right. You stopping me from being in the pursuit of. And you know what that is? That's a legal argument of constitutional right. You violated my constitutional right, officer, of a policy. Ain't you for commercial? I'm not selling nothing. I'm not even in my commercial self right now. You see? But we don't know how to speak. They know you don't know how to speak. They know you don't know what you're thinking about. But once we become, you see, we're supposed to be able, you're stopping me from the life. White Ben Crump ain't sued nobody for stopping me for being in a life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That's because they don't want you at the supreme level of law. That's why. You've been cut off. You've been barred. So what did the police officer do? He stopped me. So when a police officer is stopping you, he's stopping you from what? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what sovereignty is. That's law.
You operating from stop me hitting me. Where you going? Right up the street. Who you looking for? Nobody right now. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. But if an officer asks me where I'm going from right now, and I'm gonna tell him I'm in the pursuit of happiness. Press one. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Are you sure you want to stop me from being in pursuit of that right now? Press one. Where you going? Sir. come, come back, bro. Come back, bro. You had your lights on and every goddamn thing, bro. Bro, I know you're not stopping me. I will be. You know what court we going to, bro. You know where we're going, bro. Let's stop the jargon, and we don't do that. We loud talk. We come out of our stands. We so used to arguing with our women, we ready to argue with the police. Niggas know him right now. Turn around, and then you start threatening him and get beat over your head. Press one. They got you on camera being a threat. Press one. Meanwhile, they're using Elmo's world to destroy you. Discern the times. Thank you. But that's a perfect name for this channel. Thank you. Discerning the times. Yeah, you've been living puppets this whole time. They took pictures of puppets, and that's why that film looked grainy and all chopped up back in the day, because the puppets move like this. They only move a little bit. This is more like Mr. Rogers. Remember them little puppets that used to come on Mr. Rogers? That's what this shit. That's why they know what this shit look like. All of them is not even real, because they're all operating out of what? Come on, family. They're operating out of what? Huh? Royalty, just like Disney is. Press one. Disney needs royalty blood to make this a reality. How the fuck Disney is telling them? That's because they are Disney. And they don't want to go. And they need king's blood. What do you think corona is? What do you think coronavirus is? That means there's a virus. There's king virus on the earth. If the federal government say, "Oh shit, coronavirus on the earth," that means this whole system can be shut down because of corona. That's king's blood. But they don't know. But they do. But they don't. They don't. That's what. So you gotta know. It's all about right now. The time, not yesterday. It's happening. It's been happening this whole time. So don't get afraid. Don't get to wondering about, oh man, what's going on? Don't get discouraged or nothing. It happens every day, all day. It's on God's time. Just like this show, it just happens. This is the puppeteers you've been under the control under for the last 200 years or 130 years since the overthrow of the royals and the Victorians. You feel me? Well, how the federal government waged war on the royals. Press one, and stolen valor, stole their name, stole everything, and gave it to the Romanovs. Well, they are the Romanovs, just with their beards shaved. Coffee and Kush TV, Cairo University, late night studies at the Row. I'll see y'all first thing in the morning. And as always,